Hello and welcome to Wahnfried Art Brillanté channel. I am Dr. Juan Forfar, and I thought I'd just share the latest changes to this channel, namely these being the introduction of further playlists. Now today is the 22nd of May and it marks the 213th anniversary of the birth of the composer Richard Wagner. So much in the sort of tradition, as it were, of how I started the previous channel, WAB-ART Productions, which was a personal celebration of the birth bicentenary of Anton Bruckner. I thought we'd celebrate Wagner. So there are 3 new playlists on this channel. They are the overtures and orchestral works, comprising of 18 pieces in the playlist. These are not the extracts from the music dramas, but the standalone orchestral pieces is Symphony in C and the first movement of the Symphony in E, if I remember correctly, and overtures like Polonia and the Siegfried Idyll. There is also the piano works consisting of 17 different pieces, and I would seriously recommend listening to the Grand Sonata WWV 26. And we also have a playlist of 28 pieces, which is the Lieder, the songs, the arias, and other vocal works. So you'll find the Wesendonck Lieder, Das Liebesmahl, Der Apostel, and many other pieces, some of them quite obscure. I have been scouring YouTube to find these pieces to put these playlists together. So it's a voyage of discovery for myself and a reacquaintance with a lot of these pieces as well. Some I've never heard before. And it gives a lovely overall picture of the development of each composer. So, leading on from Wagner, there is also Carl Maria von Weber. It is the death bicentenary of Weber, very much neglected today. So there is a new playlist, volume 5, choral and vocal works, and a lovely little gem in there from 1941, the one-act opera Abu Hassan. That may be worth checking out. Also, another composer that is very much neglected, and certainly a lot of his works have still not been recorded and are not even available on YouTube. So I have put together what I can so far, and that is the composer Ignaz Pleyel. Born in 1757, died in 1831, a pupil and, shall we say, a friendly rival to Haydn. During his lifetime, he was more well known and more popular than Mozart. He wrote a prolific number of symphonies and concertos. So volume 1 is the Concertos and Sinfonia Concertante. The concertos exist in multiple forms, so it may be as a cello concerto, there is a delightful bassoon concerto, there is piano concertos and 2 clarinet concertos, and there are the Sinfonia Concertantes, which are basically almost like a concerto for various instruments within an orchestra. And of course his symphonies, of which there are 16 in that playlist, which forms volume 2. I've just gone through every Joseph Haydn symphony, all 107, and in the Hoboken catalogue it includes a Sinfonia Concertante, giving you 108 works. These have been arranged in chronological order, and in the description you will find notes on how some of these symphonies got their nicknames. That is a beautiful experience to go right through all 107 of Haydn's symphonies. Another playlist is volume 15 of Ludwig van Beethoven, which gives you 29 of his shorter piano pieces. Most famously probably is Für Elise and the Andante Favori. But did you know that Beethoven wrote a few waltzes as well? You can find those in that playlist. And finally, Anton Bruckner. There's a few additions in particular to volume 2, the secular choral works. But I've also found recordings by Riccardo Luna that it's probably the first time they've appeared on YouTube. Those earlier scherzos for his 9th Symphony that include viola solos. So again, you get this beautiful view of the development of each composer, and there are more playlists to come. So I invite you to check out the playlist section and sample some of these works. Let's put Ignaz Pleyel and Carl Maria von Weber back on the map, musically speaking, because there are some delights in there. Pleyel's music is beautifully balanced, and if you hear his symphony catalogue number Benton 121, I believe that symphony he wrote at the age of 21. It's a delightful piece, and I thoroughly recommend hearing it. But of the available recordings, I would also check out catalogue number Benton 147. That is a phenomenal symphony, but personal preferences and things, you may not agree. You may find some of the others worth checking out for yourself. And do have a look at the comments under the videos, because they will often give you a little bit more background information, far more than I could put in the description to the video playlists, because that is limited to, I believe, 5,000 characters. So I can only put so much in there. So with that, I'm going to say happy listening. Do explore the channel, and you can always drop me an email on what you think of the channel. Have you found anything new that you've never heard before? Because music gives an enormous amount of pleasure, and we are talking real music here. So with that, thank you very much for listening, and happy listening.